So we've spoken here about change in terms of legal procedure, culture, awareness, empathy, and the power of creating a movement. But if I can ask you to all separately to sum up, what is the change that you want to see the most, that you think is the most important? So Roisin, we'll start with you.
I guess speaking as one myself, amongst young people would be the major change I'd like to see. There's momentum now. There's a wave and we need to continue riding it. So the young people, I know some of them have left now, but like 2 young people in the room, I hope that you've been able to connect with this story, but also it's shown that you can find your own voice, and once you've found your voice, you can use it for anything. Like as a shy 14-year-old, I found my voice, and like I'm 18 now, but I've done a lot more stuff since. I've been on the student council in my school twice. So I guess just find your voice. Vicky showed us that the power of the individual to make change, but also the power of one to unite thousands of others. So just find your voice. If there's something you're passionate about, just do something about it. It's once you start, it's a lot easier to stay going. So yeah, I guess that's the main change.
Thank you. Keane?
I think that one of the big fractures that has developed as a consequence of Vicky and Jim's case, and then the cases that came after that, has been between the medical profession and the law. And that while a tension had always been there, it's much greater now for reasons that I won't really get into because it's just too long. But I would like to see a much better dialogue between the two, and for doctors perhaps to realise that the perception they have of the threat that the law presents and that patients present them through the law, this idea of defensive medicine is simply wrong, and that in fact the law of Ireland is extremely protective of the medical profession, and rightly so, such that they are not exposed to vexatious or baseless litigation. But at the same time, that must be balanced, and they must understand how important it is that their patients have the right to challenge issues in their healthcare. And I think that's going to need some mechanism of dialogue between medicine and the law. That type of dialogue is something that universities like South East Technical University may have a role in.
Okay, thank you, Keane. And Liz?
Well, on 2 fronts, I think initially, personally and individually, I think I would like to see everyone taking more responsibility for your own health, to educate yourselves about how to reduce your risk of cancer and other illnesses, to go for your screening, go for your vaccinations, and, adopt the healthy lifestyle for better health. And trust your gut as well. If there's something amiss in your body, go and please get it checked. If there's nothing wrong, great, you're reassured. But if there is something wrong, you will get the help. We have a wonderful health system in Ireland. I mean, I'm here having been through bilateral breast cancer. Thankfully, I caught it early and I'm out the other side. But as doctors don't always get it right, and so if you're not happy with the first answer, go and seek a second opinion. And Vicky, in her case, went the further step to find a trial, that for another drug that was going to help her and extend her life for a longer time. So I suppose be your own advocate. I'd like to see us all being advocate for our own health. But then system-wise, obviously, I would love to see a much better screening service actually delivered within Ireland. I know the Minister for Health launched a cervical cancer elimination strategy just last Friday, and that entails vaccination, it entails screening, but it's a long-term programme, but at least the launch has happened now, so that means it's going to be in the spotlight, and organisations like the Marie Keating Foundation, 221 Plus, and others individually can actually hold the government and the Department of Health to book now to see how that strategy is going to be achieved. you know, we're talking about patient safety legislation. There are so many moving parts that, you know, that we're contending with long hospital waiting lists, lack of consultants in our hospitals. You know, there are issues across the system, but I think, you know, the government needs to properly resource, and particularly the National Cancer Strategy, first and foremost, to ensure better outcomes for cancer patients.
Yeah, thank you, Liz. Just before I hand back to Roisin and let you get back to your day, I see a lot of the Erskine girls at the back, some of whom I recognise. So I just want to reiterate something that Liz in particular said, which is that, you know, we're taught to respect the experts when it comes to our health, you know, to trust them, and that's absolutely the case. We should, but we are the experts of our own bodies, and we should never be afraid to ask those questions. I think our gut, you know, especially young women, which is the area that I work in, is your superpower, you know, and just to trust it and to never be afraid to challenge things when you just feel that something is not right. So that's what I'd like these girls in particular to take away, if that's all right with you.